Hello everyone, this is Dave with Fitness Technology Services. So today I'm going to do a little video on what the different components are inside your treadmill itself. We're going to be using this NordicTrack treadmill, kind of just an example. It's any kind of icon product, sole product, there's a lot of products that will apply to this. They look a little different, but the fundamentals will be the same, alright? So the first thing we're going to walk through is this is the walking motor right here. This is a DC motor. It operates anywhere from 10 volts DC to 90 volts DC. For every 1 mile an hour, it gets approximately 10 volts DC. So if 9 miles an hour is probably 90 volts DC, give or take a few. It gets its information off of this reed switch here, but we'll get involved in that in just a couple of minutes. Again, this is kind of just a walkthrough to get you familiar with your different components. But this is a DC operated motor. The next motor that we're going to be looking into is your incline motor. Now your incline motor is an AC operated motor, so you have to be careful with that. Before I would work on this, I would recommend either turning it off or unplugging it, because this has 110 volts AC coming to it, and if you're uncomfortable with that, you should always work with this turned off, alright? So after we get your AC motor, we'll start talking about some of the different components and what side of your board is AC and what side of your board is DC. So the first thing that we're going to talk about are your two blue wires right here. These wires connect to a thermal breaker inside the motor itself. So if you follow these out, we'll kind of just move that out the way. See them over here, runs right down through here, up into this motor right here. These are AC wires. They do not operate the motor. They simply are a breaker, a turn-off switch in case the motor gets too hot. I've never seen them actually reset a motor, but in theory, that's what they're there for, all right? So next to them are your main coming AC wires, your black and your white. Your white is your neutral, your hot is your black. And you can just follow that out, and as you can see, right directly to the cord, all right? Can't promise it'll all be that easy, but that one's pretty easy right there. So this green wire that comes out of here is just your ground. So that's perfectly safe and harmless, especially, once again, if the machine's off, you don't have to worry about that too much, all right? So the next set of wires I want to talk about are your transformer wires. These here switch everything from high voltage AC or 110 volts AC down to lower voltage AC, and they run it through the control, all right? You can see those two right here. But this set of 3 wires, which are red, black, and white, I want you to be especially careful of, because these are actually 110 volts AC unregulated, just straight AC, like it was plugged into an outlet. And if you follow these out, they go right into this incline motor. Red is always up, black is always down, common in this case is always neutral. So there may be some difference in that, but I've never ever found a incline motor through any brand I've ever worked on that red wasn't up, black wasn't down, and your common was AC. Alright, no matter what country they're made in, everything seems to be the same on that. It's pretty much nothing else, but that's all the same. Alright, so that is all your AC circuitry and your AC side of the board. Alright, so now we're going to go over the DC stuff, the controlling stuff. So the most amount of DC, again, is your running motor. This takes from 0 to 90 volts DC. And as you can see, it hooks into your control right here. Red is positive, black is negative. Pretty simple, not really a big deal, all right? Then your other controlling wires you have is this controlling wire right here. This is a little 2-pin wire and goes into a 2-pin connector and runs across through here, and goes over to the reed switch right here. Now this reed switch is your start switch. See that right there? That gives you the signal to actually give it a start. It also does your calories. It also does your timing. All your information is basically done off of this reed switch right here. And it gets its information from a magnet that is inside this front roller. I'll get more in depth in that when I do some troubleshooting videos, but for right now, I just want you to understand kind of what that does. So we're going to follow that back around, and boom, it ends up right there on the board, all right? Your next 2-wire switch is still a 2-wire switch, but it's in a 3-pin connector, is the information for your incline. These wires, again, are all DC, all low voltage wires. Still safe to turn the machine off before you do anything with it, but you won't get really too much of a shock on that, all right? You see that connection right here? Just follow that through, and that goes to the bottom side of your incline. And that just tells the incline how far up and down it is. That's how you get your display up on your console as far as what height you're in or what height you're not in, depending on whether it goes up and down. All right. Then the last one is your main Molex connector, where you'll see all the different color pins through here. I will go through all that again on another day. I just kind of wanted you to see all the different color pins. I can tell you what each one means, but that'll be, I guess, on my next video. And we'll start replacing all these parts, and I'll show you guys, just like I did on the elliptical, how to replace all the different components on that. So again, if you like what you see, give us a like on Facebook. If you need more information, ask for some help on Facebook. There's no problem to that whatsoever. But that's my first video as far as understanding some of the components that go inside. I hope this was very helpful to you guys. I'm going to do basically the same thing with this that I did with the elliptical. I'm just going to kind of tear it apart, and we're going to kind of rebuild it together. All right? Thank you very much.